Alright, what's up guys, it is me, Trash Salsa. Today we're going to be taking a look at my new Superlectric. I'm sorry if you hear noises, we're in the basement and the kitchen is right above me and we have family over, so it's going to be really kind of noisy. But this is the first run of this fan ever. I have not heard it run yet, so let's see. There it is. This is rattling, that's okay. Oh my god. It's got the plastic motor, like the early Lascos. It's got the same shell, and it stinks. So cool. It's making noise on medium. Might need oil. That's a sink running, by the way. Oh yeah, it needs oil, I think. Maybe not. Well, it's gonna get oil no matter what, but I'm just saying. Spin out's not terrible, but the motor does sound weird. Okay. Alright, let's get to work. Alright, so we're back in the basement, which is where I did the Wills Royal, Vornado, and some other fans. It's too cold outside to do it outside, so let's do it in the basement now. Quick before and after. It's hard to see on camera, but whatever. It might be rust, or not. That might be just a stain. Motor might need to be looked at, but we'll see. Alright, again, I apologize if you hear noises. We're in the basement, and there's children here running around. I don't have a choice, I can't remove them. No idea what's going on in this fan, but we'll find out. And there's like crusty dirt on here, and like drywall dust. I don't know what is going on. And there's cobwebs they just felt. So the inside of the blade hub has little blades in there. I don't know if you can see that. So let's get the blades off and then we'll start doing some cleaning, I guess. Alright, I'm having trouble getting the blades off, so what I'm going to have to do is do what I did with the 47 and the S23. I'm going to have to just take the motor apart, because it's plastic, and if I pull too hard I don't want to crack it, because it happened to the Blue Bladed Galaxy and I had to spend way too much time fixing that. I don't have a time to fix this tonight. I have to like really rush this to get this done, because I don't want to do this during the week, because I'm not going to have enough energy. So I got to do this like, you know what I mean, now. So I'm going to get the motor apart. The bearing does move around. When I was trying to get the blades off, just pushing on the back, just a little slight wiggle, the bearing was wiggling around in there. So there's, without a doubt, I would have damaged the motor trying to get the blades off. Which is why I was hesitating to get this fan, because they do make this with the metal motor. They don't have a choice. You know, the one with the metal motor and this blade set is really rare. And this one is a little bit less rare, but it's got the good blade set, because the other blade set is worse than this one. So that's why I aim to get this one. But I didn't think I'd get too much trouble getting this apart. Okay. So the rear plate does just come off. So this plastic does feel a little bit denser than that of the Lascos. Okay, we gotta clean all these washers. Okay, my goal is to get the stator out of here. Here's your windings. They're like golden, copper, red. Pretty, actually really nice, pretty windings. It's like a yellowish red. Uses tape, has an avocado green varnish. Hear that? Metal. Okay. Someone's gonna complain that I stood the stator up, but I don't really want to lay it down because that's not smart either, so whatever. Okay, so now we have this contraption of a front plate, rotor, and blade. So this is what we got to deal with now, which I think is a little bit easier to deal with. I'm still not sure how I'm gonna get this off. I haven't 100% planned that out yet, but the good news is I can now pull the rotor out a different way. There's different methods I can use now. So what I did with the S23 is I put wood underneath where the blades were, and then I hammered a little, like one of these wrench parts. Forgot the name, sockets I think they're called. And I just put that on the shaft. Problem is this is a half-size shaft, or the smaller motor shaft of the two sizes, so unfortunately I can't do that because it's so small that it's just gonna hit the blades and not actually the metal. So don't really know how I'm gonna do this just yet, but all right, this little contraption here is two like metal bed leg things. It's like for a bed, like a frame. And then I have two wooden pieces just right underneath the blade set. Then the hammer, I got a squishy mallet looking thing. And then I have this, and there's a regular hammer too if I need it. So let me just make sure that this is not touching anything with the motor. Like I should be able to spin that motor plate. Perfect. Look at that. I can spin the plate. So now, all the pressure is just on the blades, right? Trying to get it right on the hub. Yep. Yep. All right, let's go for it. Dude, I can't believe this is actually working. Holy crap. All right, ready? Gonna finally get the blades off after building this. If the bearings ever go bad, I guess this is... I was about to say, if the bearings ever go bad, which they probably are now that I just dropped this like an idiot. Clean the cabinet to the best I can. Someone wrote writing somewhere. Someone wrote a message on here. I can't really read it. I'll try to debunk it when we get in the bedroom. The bottom was still treacherous. Can't get that any better. Sides aren't doing too bad. The brace looks probably the best. And the motor is having trouble. So I did the stator and the rear plate, but the front plate looks like this. And we gotta sand the shaft down. Motor a little bit. Okay. Looking a little bit better. All right, well here we are. Look at the shaft. All right, quick thing before I get to the assembly clip. I just want to mention that the rotor does have a little bit of scoring, but the scoring is very uneven. Like it's not like deep grooves. It's just like, it's kind of, see what I mean? And just running my fingernail here, I don't feel anything. Feels the same as up here. So the good news is we might be okay as far as that goes. So, yeah, so I don't know. I did clean these with water. So, this is with water cleaned. And I also did the front plate because I couldn't get it clean because of how yucky the thing was. So I'm going to show you that to you now. Here's the front plate. This was cleaned with water. the bearing was dried nicely. So, because I couldn't get all that crap off, but here's the front now. I can't get all the little grooves, unfortunately, but this is a lot better than before. At least it's black. At least you can see the color now, rather than before it was just nastiness. So I'm gonna oil this all up, assemble the motor. I'll do a bit of a test run, I guess. I mean, you really don't know anything till the blades are on. And then we're gonna do the grills. It's really, you're gonna just see the assembly next clip. Oh man, okay, so I wanna say like an hour and a half went by, I don't know, something like that. So here we are. I did everything, literally. I cleaned the bottom, I took all the feet out. I'm gonna go clean those off camera another day. So I lost that little screw that goes to the switch. I put it somewhere where I knew I wasn't gonna lose it, and then I lost it, so that's not good. Gonna have to figure out an alternative. I do have a bunch of screws here. Let's see, maybe let's find an alternative temporarily. Can always run to Ace and try to get another one. But I don't know yet. Alright, so I don't want to make this too long, because I mean, I gotta go to bed. So let's do this. Here's the blades. Looking pretty shiny. Yeah, someone like wrote with a marker or something in the middle, and I had to like scrape it off my fingernail like an idiot for 25 hours. Here's the grill. This one actually required the less cleaning. The blade was the worst part to clean out of the three. This is the back grill, by the way. Still a little wet, but I don't really care. 2 drops in there is not going to do anything. And it probably will dry by the time I need to put them back on. Here's the front grill. Front grill was for some reason dirtier than the rear grill, which is typically, it's usually the other way around. There's your Superlectric emblem. Beautiful looking. This is a very blue fan. It looks more blue in real life than it does in like a picture online. Like I saw this thing, I'm like, whoa, that's like really blue. Even when it was dirty. I can't imagine it together, cleaned and done. I mean, just looking at the blades, I mean, this is a lot of blue going on here. I like it. I'm liking it. Okay, now we're gonna oil. Actually, where is... I'd like to not edit this part as much. Let me get an alcohol wipe, because the oil is all gross, the oil can. A lot of people are like, how come you don't show us how to oil a fan? So I'm gonna do it right now. Here's how you oil your Superlectric. I'm gonna zoom in right nice on there. Now, motors that don't have an oil port, you typically have to take them apart. It's called a force oiling. This, I can get away with it because the bearing and everything right here is very much exposed. Typically, motors will be more flush than that. I'm going to move the shaft in and out, in and out. I'm going to start spinning the shaft just to get the oil around in there. Otherwise, it will drip all the way down and make a mess. Don't oil your fan too much. You know, depending on how dry it is, 6 to 10 drops is all you need. Any more than that, you're going to get an over-oiling, and it's going to drip down the bottom of the fan. If it hits the blades, it's going to fly everywhere. Don't make that mistake. This fan, since I already oiled it earlier, I'm just going to put like a drop in there. Because like I said, I just fresh oiled it. Okay, rear shaft is going to be the exact same thing. Okay. You can use 3-in-1 or zoom spout. I'm not sure what motor this one, I'm not sure what oil this motor will prefer yet. Some motors are weirder and they prefer different oils. Like you see the KG3 in the background there, or you did earlier. Like that only really takes 3-in-1. It doesn't like the zoom spout. So it just depends on the fan you use. My Toastmaster is the same way. I just found that out. You put zoom spout in there, it just doesn't do anything. Like it just does nothing. doesn't look, it's just fake oil, right? But on some fans, like my C122, you want to use zoom spout because it's a lighter blade set. It's a smaller load. It's a smaller motor. And it doesn't necessarily mean smaller motor. You know, it could be less amperage. You know, the blade weight is less. Typically, the more heavy duty the motor is, the more of the 3-in-1 you want, because 3-in-1 is thicker and it's a penetrating oil, which means it'll cut through anything else. So that's why you want to use 3-in-1. This fan I don't know yet, since it was pretty much bone dry. I'm gonna start out with zoom spout and see what this does with that, but I think it should be okay. I don't know yet though. But if I do have to take the motor apart for whatever reason, depending on how this reacts to this, I can use a 3-in-1. It's not a big deal. And just for this video, the zoom spout will be perfectly fine. Okay. All right, now here's the hard part. We gotta figure out the wires, because these were like 16 zip ties. I have 2 twisty ties. That's not good. And I have nothing else to compensate either. That's it, that's all I got. Luckily, this is not my first rodeo. Okay, let me... So yeah, like I said, there's a little screw here and I lost it because I'm stupid. So what I have to do... So actually right now I gotta figure out which other thing I can use. Alright, I found a screw that fits, but it was kind of too tall. But I'll have to just find another one later. It does work, but... it's a little wobbly. So I have that twisty tie up there, twisty tie down there, and then I just put some tape there for now. There is more twisty ties maybe in the kitchen, but okay, now that we've done everything else, I don't think I'm missing anything. We got the wiring looked at, and everything is cleaned. I think we can actually start assembly for real. Well, actually, we've been starting assembly. Okay, I'm gonna... Something weird with these blades is it looks like these are like the first gen liquids, but the hub looks smaller because the blade looks a lot longer. Yeah, they're skinnier and I'm just not seeing it. Alright, so I'm gonna match the flat part with the flat part of the shaft. Usually I can just eyeball it. Oh wait, this has a hard time getting on there. There's a clip on the back that's really tight. Hold on, before I shove that on there and I can't get it back off, let me figure out the plan. Might have to stress out that clip on the back of the blades. So there's a clip that's too tight. I don't want to take it off 100%. Actually, no, let's take it off and see. Does it do anything? Because my Galaxy, my green Galaxy has never had a clip on it. I took it off and I never put it back. Oh yeah, see? That's still really tight, and even with the clip off. Yeah, that's probably not going back on until I further notice. I can't even get it. I took the clip off, I can't even get it down. Alright. Is that too far back? I can't tell. Or is that good? The Superlectric is hard to tell, because the shaft just kind of freely hangs out. Yeah, see? Thank God I took that clip off, but I've never had a chance of anything with that. So wait, can I take these off at some point? That looks a little permanent. Oh yeah, that ain't coming off. Alright, well, we'll deal with that another day. spin down looks pretty good. Kind of. It's a little bit of abrupt stop. But oil hasn't really had a chance to get everywhere yet, so. Alright, well, let's test it. Just remember my golden Toastmaster, when I went to test that, it made a bunch of racket before I did anything. Turns out it was motor misalignment. That's why I don't want to put the grills on just yet, especially without screws. Because they use bolts. It's all stupid. Unfortunately, Superlectric fell into that trend. They shouldn't have, but they fell into it anyway. I don't know, I'm trying to get a good angle here. This is my other tripod. Alright, furnace turned off, which is good timing so we can hear the startup sound if there is any. Here's high. That's deep. That's buzzing. Medium. Yeah, one of the windings had a loose wire, so it's probably that. Low. Sounds kind of like my S223 and my Kel Air combined. It's got the consistency of the Kel Air, but it's got the, you know, depth of the S223. As far as audio goes, that is. Let's go up to high. Off. It's making a loud hissing sound when it slows down. It's like does that type of thing. Okay. Performance is meh. It's buzzing. Spin down's not great. Sounds dry already. So yeah, this might need 3-in-1 at some point. So well, I can't do any of this tonight, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, there was one of the windings had a loose wire on it. I guarantee you money that that's the one that's making it do whatever. It was like that on my Robeson. There was a winding that was doing it. I just kind of pushed the wire back and kind of hung it on another part of the winding and it stopped. So it can be just one little wire and that's all it takes for something to buzz. But judging by the build of the motor, I definitely think it needs varnish at some point. I just don't know what I'm going to do because it's cold outside. So I can't really do that right now. So luckily it's still October, so we might have a better chance at, you know, better weather. Because obviously once you hit like November, that's the end. There's no chance. That's done. So, and I'm really afraid that those blades are going to come off again. I really hope they have a chance. Because, I mean, I cleaned the shaft. Well, I sanded the shaft. I cleaned the inside of the blades, right? And then I took that clip off, which I thought, like, man, I'm going to regret this. No, I did not. I actually happy I took it off because I probably will have a better chance of getting it off. I couldn't even get it on, and I got it on a little bit without the clip, so I don't know. For now, I'm just going to put the grills on. I can try to listen to the motor, see if I can identify anything. But I do want to get this fan together tonight. I don't want to be farting around with it for 7 days. Honestly, I'm not shocked that it's buzzing. It's not really a shocker to me. But let's see. Let me get the flashlight on there, because I can kind of see if it's You can actually see the wire too if it's buzzing. So what winding was that? It was this one, I think. No, one of them. It only does it on high, I think. Okay, that's weird. It only does it on high. Okay, yeah, that's strange. Yep, only high. Only on high does it make that sound. That is so strange. Well, that's good because it means that it's not, if it was buzzing, you know, on every single occasion of the motor, then yeah, that'd be a bit of a problem, but luckily it's just high speed. Alright, it's done. I had trouble getting the screws back on in the back. So it's gonna be a little weird, but whatever. I think it's because of this. So I have to keep one screw out anyway because I'm going to be trying to run to Ace tomorrow and see if I can get some Phillips. So there's one screw that's not going to be in there. The clip is still going to stay out. This is the clip for the blades. So tell me that's not a cool fan. I mean, look at that. That thing's just, I mean, it's just freaking awesome, brother. I mean, that just looks good. All right, here's high. Oh yeah, this rattles. This is another fan handle, by the way. This is the spare. So, a handle makes a handle stop rattling. This thing sounds really deep, like it's very low pitch. Oh yeah, we gotta do kilowatt meter. Hold on. Where's low? The thing says 2.8 amps. I call BS on that. I don't think that's true. Low sounds good. Wow. Is it buzzing? I can't tell. I can't tell. I think it's just the motor is dry and it makes a weird sound. It makes me think it's buzzing, but it's not. Spin down. I'm sorry if it looks stupid. I forgot about. See, it's a little bit longer now. So maybe it's just the oil has got to settle in a little bit. I'll run it in the morning and see if it changes. Yeah, see, it looks a little longer. Okay, well, it's still a bit of an abrupt stop. I'm gonna make my Edison hold the camera here. Okay. I'm aware that you cannot see it, don't worry. Okay. It's on amps. Okay, I'll zoom in on the editor. But where's my flashlight? Let's see. Okay, here's high. wants to. It's 60 hertz, by the way, if you're wondering. Cool. All right. Well, obviously I was correct. It's calling BS here. It says 2.8 amps, but it's really just running 2.4. So that was a very abrupt stop right there. I don't know if you caught that on camera. But holy moly. I don't know if you saw that. That was strong. That was an abrupt stop for real. Yeah, so this thing's probably just dry. It's going to need some oil. Whatever, regular stuff. Okay, so it has been now exactly 1 week since the last clip that you've just watched, and you can kind of tell because the Cal-Air is now finished or running for the week, so now it's going to be going downstairs tomorrow. So here's just some updates since a week went by. Here's what I did, didn't do, or haven't been able to do. So the first thing that I know you could probably tell is there is new screws now. So no more of that crappy bolts or whatever. So we have new screws in the fan now, so a lot better. Another thing is the feet were cleaned. So let me get to the bottom here. The feet were deep cleaned, but I still put tape over them because just to help preserve whatever, because that rubber is not going to last very long. There's also tape on the inside of the cabinet too, where these make contact, so that way they don't start deteriorating, because I know it's rusty and damaged in the inside. So another thing is the message on the fan. I know I talked about it a little bit. You can make out it says something by my dad. You can make out some words like Lawrence 723 room 202. I used a UV light and I was able to figure out what it said because it looks like whoever wrote this used a highlighter. So it actually kind of glowed under like a black light. So I wrote it down on paper, so I'll read it to you. Maybe you can kind of read along if that is easy to make out here. I don't know. It says Howard something Ivy. I can't read that out because if you can see, it's all scratched there. So I don't know what it says. I'm guessing it's like Howard and the wife or whatever. Howard blank Lawrence, 723 room 202. Whoever steal it gets in trouble by my dad. That's what it says. It was hard to make this out because a lot of the words were spelled wrong, like trouble was spelled without an O. So it made it really kind of hard to figure out. And like I said, the mom or wife or whatever, looks like a little kid wrote this, because obviously the spelling errors and the grammar doesn't make any sense. And it says by my dad. So I'm guessing a little kid wrote this on the side of the fan. They must have lived in an apartment and didn't want anyone to steal it. Kind of a really odd message to write on the side of the fan, but that's what it says. I cannot get it off, by the way. I did try to use 91% rubbing alcohol. It actually started to get like a very light tint of the cabinet color, blue. So it was pulling more paint than it was the ink. So that's probably been on there for 40 years and it's not going to come off. But whatever, you know, that doesn't bother me. Now, if that was right on the top of the cabinet, I would have been a little more salty. But speaking of the top cabinet, I did try and polish it. As you can tell, it's not nasty as much. Since the paint finish is really bad, it doesn't really come out shiny. But the sticker, since the sticker is a smoother surface, it does come out really shiny. Because the smoother the surface, the shinier the polish will have a, whatever outcome. So that is all that stuff. Another thing on the bottom I forgot to talk about was the date code. I think it's a date code. Right there, I think. So again, with the light, I try to figure out what that said. I can make out a 027 something. So it's either a 0272 or a 0277. It's either the last digit is either a 7 or a 2, I don't know. So that would either make it 1972 or 1977. I'm guessing it's 1977 because it's got the plastic motor, and the earlier Superlectrics would have had no logo here and would have had the metal motor, or some of them had the bigger, doofier blade set. So I'm guessing this has to be from 1977, which sounds about right. So that is that. Now, that is not 100%. That may not even be a date code. That could be like a catalog number or something else. It could be some ridiculous something. I don't know. I'm guessing it's a date code because that would have been February 1977. But, hey, what do I know? So how does the fan run? So I ran it on low a few times by taking naps and whatever. It runs probably better than a Lakewood. It's lower pitched. It's much more consistent. Which, that could just be the motor as far as consistency goes, because it might be spinning faster. But, it's funny, because they kind of stole Lakewood's design and then made it better. So, I thought that was kind of funny. And, yeah. And on medium, for some reason, when I run this fan on medium, it starts making, like, really weird motor sounds. I don't know what's going on. So, I'll have to experiment more with that. The motor still needs to get varnished, because on high, when you first turn the fan on high, it buzzes. Luckily, the buzz is only on startup, and it's only associated with high speed. So I can still run this overnight tonight on low. But that's going to be the only overnighting run, because I want to be able to say, hey, I ran this overnight, because if there's any problems throughout the night, or let's say 3 in the morning it starts humming like the Manning-Baumann, I need to know all these parameters before I take the motor apart for varnishing, because now the weather is getting colder. And I have maybe 1 or 2 good days this coming week that I might be able to do the varnish. So, with that in mind, it's better if I just run the fan overnight on low anyway. It should be fine. If I ran it, you know, a few times taking a nap, then I'm not going to die. But that is basically it. There's really nothing else to talk about. The fan's pretty much the same. And I did do a photo shoot with it, so we should have better pictures for a thumbnail now. And mostly for the Reborn review, but whatever. So, like I said, fan's got pictures, new screws, feet are cleaned, right? It runs only really good on low, and that's it. And then it's got new screws for the switch as well. So, I mean, it's just a overall good thing. So, yeah, that's the Superlectric. I have some other videos planned with this fan, so those will be coming out soon, whenever I can get good sunlight for lighting, because obviously it's dark in here because it's cloudy. But, yeah. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I'll see you guys in the next one.